Hi, I'm Naz and welcome to Art Clwb. Today we are going to be creating some lovely little Matchbox Worry Bugs here. So I'll be showing you everything of how to create your own little worry bug, and today is on behalf of Head for Arts for the 5 ways to wellbeing. To make your Matchbox Worry Bug, you will need a matchbox, 2 pieces of felt for the body, some felt for the eyes and the pocket, a glue stick, a scissors, some thread, whatever colour you'd like, pins to hold some of the pieces in place, and a sewing needle, a pencil, some stuffing, which could be cut up clothing. This is just stuffing from a pillow. So you need some paper to cover your matchbox with, which could be old magazine paper or even book paper, a spoon, and if you have some lavender. And then last but not least is your template, or you can make your own. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to show you the start of how to make your little Matchbox Worry Bug. So you need your template, or you could make your own. You can adapt this one as well if you don't like the shape I've done. You need your 2 pieces of felt, up to you which colours. Pop the pieces of felt together, and then you need to make sure you cut out your template sheet. So cut out your pieces of the body, the pocket, and the eyes. Then you're going to place your Matchbox bug onto the felt, the 2 layers, and pin through. Once you've got that secure, you can then take your scissors and cut all the way around your Matchbox bug. You can also do this with a pencil if it feels better, but it's nice, I think, to have them both together. Much easier when you're cutting. Okay. So you should have your matchbox body then. So take your pins out carefully and just keep those to the side. Next thing to do is cut out your pocket on the heart. You can make another shape if you don't want to. If you find it complicated to pin, you can just use a pencil and trace around your template to get the ideal shape. And then cut out. You'll see my concentrating face when I'm doing this now. Okay, so that's the pocket. And then repeat the same for the eyes. So the bigger one, we've got white for the eyes. So we need 2 cut out of that, which again, you can either use the shape or you can use a pencil. Trace around that twice for your eyes. On the white, and then cut those out. You could fold together if you're impatient like me and cut them both at the same time. I've just done these as a guide, so if you'd like to cut your own shapes and design your own little Matchbox bug, that's fine too. Okay, got the eyes. If you find they're a little bit wonky, which is fine, I love a bit of wonky art, you can always just give them a little trim afterwards till you're happy. Just be careful not to cut too much. And then the last one is the pupils of the eyes. You just want 2 of the black, so you can either hold around it or pin it in place, and you just want 2 of the circles for your Matchbox bug eye. So just cut around those until you're happy you've got the shape that you want. So I usually cut a scrap shape first and then just tidy up around the edges like so. And then you've got your eyes for your Matchbox bug. Two. There we are. Okay. So get rid of any of your bits that are in the way, ready to do your next bit. So now you have all the pieces together, you're just going to take the one piece that you want to be the front of your bug and then decide where you want the eyes and where you want the pocket to go. Not too low, because we will be sewing around the edge, okay? So keep it a little bit further up from the bottom. Right, okay, so if you feel more comfortable, you can use the pins to hold this in place. So what I'm going to do first is sew the two eyes on, and then we'll sew the pupils on top. Ooh, let's get away from you there. So you just pin that in place. So you'll need to cut a length of thread, not too long, and I wrap it over, so I double it to make it thicker and stand out. So thread your needle, take your time with that, and then double over the thread. You can just knot the end, just wind that around your finger, pop inside, got a nice little knot there, and then you're going to start with your sewing. So what you do is start from the underneath, pull your needle through gently, and then you're going to do a running stitch, which is just a straight stitch going in and out. You can keep your stitches quite nice and big. Take care with the pins. Once you get it so far around, you can take the pins out even, so you just keep going. And this Matchbox bug can have character, so nothing has to be perfect, even the sewing. This is about you having fun creating. So you just keep going with that until you stitch all the way around the eyes. Take care not to do that, so you end up wrapping the thread around. You're just going in and out to get that thread going all the way. If you still find you've got a good length of thread on your needle, you can then go straight into the other eye, the back, from the back to the front, pull gently, and you can carry on with your next eye. If you find you haven't got much thread left, just stop, knot, and then start over on the next one. So you thread up your needle again. So all the way around your eye here, you've got the white felt, which will hold everything in place, and then stitch all the way around here. So there we have your eyes stitched on. So you'll need to knot this, so you can just pop it in the back, loop the loop, hula hoop and pull. So that's one way of knotting, or you can cut it, take your two pieces of thread and just tie a double knot in there, like so, if that's easier. So there's just two versions there. Okay, and that is your first part of your eyes. Trim off any of the threads at the back as you're going along so they don't get in your way. And that's the first part. Then you need to thread up your needle again, and we're just going to add the pupils of the eyes in here. So these one on this Matchbox have been stitched just the pupils, so I haven't stitched there, so you can just do two crosses through there, or like this one, like we've just done, you could stitch the white on and then the black. If you want them more secure, it's much safer to do it that way. So let's see. So thread your needle, make sure you do a knot at the bottom. If your threads are both together, it just makes your thread stand out. If you're just using your usual household thread, like I've got here. And then place one of your pupils on in the place that you'd like it, and just needle through the back again. Take care, because you've got thicker layers now, you've got 3 layers you're going through. Okay, you're not holding that in place. And then I'm just going to do a cross. So I'm going to go across and then back through and across the other side. So like on your template here, you'll see there's just a little stitching line which you can follow if you'd like to. So once you've done that, again, do your little trick, your time saving trick and thread saving, pop it through the other eye, get your black piece in position, and then straight through. So I'm going to do another cross on this one. Again, you'll see my concentrating face with this. You want to be careful with the needle and the layers going through. And just give it a bit of a move about. Caught some of my thread there. And there you have your Matchbox eyes. So again, you can just cut off your thread and give that a little knot. Okay, lovely. So make sure you're tidying up your threads as you go along. So the back, as we've travelled the thread through, the back will look a little bit messy with the back going forward, and then here you've got your Matchbox eyes. Next is your pocket. So make sure you don't put it right the way down the bottom, as we're going to be stitching the bottom to make sure all the lovely squishy stuff and lavender stays in place. So a little bit further at the top, a few millimeters, pin that in place just to hold it there, and then you're going to start stitching around. So again, thread up your needle. So you get lots of practice for threading your needle with this. So with the pocket, you want the top to be open to pop your notes in. So you want to stitch just at the top of that heart. You do not stitch across the top, okay? So then, same again, the running stitch, straight stitch, just in and out, almost like a snake or a little worm popping his head up, going in and out. And you just keep doing that until you get to the point of the heart, and then you do up the other side. So as easy as that. So you'll find the bigger pieces of felt are going to be much easier to stitch. Just completely up to you how big you do your stitch on the pocket. It's a nice little feature and lovely to see it in a different colour thread. So just keep going. I'm going to do one more there. My Auntie Mimo taught me this, so this is, so make sure you're just going through the back colour thread, just in and out, loop the loop, hula hoop and pull. If you don't like the magic knot, you can just cut the thread and knot it, and there is your pocket. Now there's something we're missing here from your Matchbox Bug. I wonder if you can figure out what that is. So that is a little mouth here. So I always do a little smile on mine. So again, rethread your needle and have a go at adding a mouth for your Matchbox Bug. Exactly the same stitch again, so we're just doing the running stitch. Now you could add this, so once you've threaded your needle and knotted it, you might just want to draw it in with pen. You don't have to stitch it, but I think it's nice to give it a little stitched mouth after all the other effort you've gone to for your bug. And then you can leave it like that if you want to. If you want to, you can end up going, you can join at the stitches. So you go back over the smile. If you want a more continuous line and you don't want the gaps in it, you can just go back through like this. So the same stitch, straight stitch, but you're just going back to the end of the other stitch to fill in that gap. It'll make sense when I show you now. You'll see all of a sudden that smile connects together. Now you have the front of your Matchbox done. What you need to do now is get the back of the Matchbox Bug. I've done two different colours, it's up to you, and hold those together. So add in your 2 pins. You can trim around this at the end, so don't panic too much, but you want to try and get it as exact as you can. And don't worry, until he's stuffed and finished stitching, you won't feel any of these pins at the moment. So that's your pins through the both sides, okay? So take care. Right, so what you need to do, again, thread up your needle. And then you're ready to stitch, double thread, around your Matchbox Bug. Now I usually start at the one side at the bottom, so I'm going to start on the right hand side. I've kind of done on the template here, you're starting just a few millimeters in, okay, around the edge. So again, exactly the same stitch, you've got your knot in there, and then you're just doing a straight stitch all the way around. If you find your thread is getting smaller and smaller as you're going along, just make sure you have enough to knot it before you start another piece of thread. And just keep going all the way around. So you're focusing on the front of the Matchbox bug, so where you've got your eyes and everything stitched on. Don't worry too much about the back. As long as you're pulling that thread through, then that will be fine. That will keep it all in place. So just keep going. You'll get into a real rhythm of this once you keep on going with this stitching, and you've already done the running stitch for everything else. When you get to the end, you need to just knot that again. So either cut the thread, knot it, or in and out, loop the loop, hula hoop and pull. I'm going to do that twice here. In and out, loop the loop, hula hoop and pull. And give that a cut. Okay, I'm just going to cut off the threads. So take out the pins, and there you have your Matchbox bug. So the front and back. Remember not to stitch the bottom, because that's going to be where we're going to fill it with lots of nice stuffing now. To be nice and squishy. So just take the bottom, so that's going to be the opening for the stuffing. Please be gentle with it. And then take some stuffing, just a small amount, and you can aerate it. That's a trick that I always do that makes them extra squishy and critchy. Pop that into the bottom there, and then you can use your pencil just to push that down gently right into the ears, just to get that shape of the ear. You can push it down, and there we are. And then get a little bit more, aerate it, and pop it round the other side of the ear. So we're going right down to the bottom. Okay, that's it. And you just find the pencil or something with a soft end, not anything too pointy. You'll be able to push that right the way down into the shape that you've created. Okay, so when you're happy with that, we'll put a bit more stuffing in. You could just fill this all with lavender if you like to. I like to add a bit of stuff in just to give it a bit more shape and form, and make it a bit softer. I like to then add some lavender for the stomach, so that when you rub it or give it a little crunch, you'll be able to get the lovely smell of lavender. Now the easiest way to do this, it can get a little bit messy, is to use a little spoon, little teaspoon, and then pop some of that in, okay, and keep going. So I've got 2 teaspoons so far. So instead of teaspoons of sugar, like maybe we've got teaspoons of lavender here, and just keep going until you're happy with that. You don't want to overstuff the bug so it doesn't fit inside your Matchbox either, so take care to keep it a really nice squishy, but not too much so it actually fits into your Matchbox, and you can close it as well. And then you can just put some stuff in the top then, so you've got that filled with lavender. Make sure you compact it as much as you can inside, and then pop some stuff in on top. Take some of that out. I've gone a bit overboard with my stuff in here. So what we're going to do then is pin the bottom, or you can just hold it in place, completely up to you. Just take care of your fingers, and we're going to stitch across the bottom to hold all of that lovely lavender smell in, and the stuffing. So take your needle and thread it for the last time now for your bug. One side of the bug I'm starting from the right here, and then you're just going in and out to hold all the extra lavender in and to make your bug extra crunchy with the stuffing inside it too. Okay, and then stitch all the way to the end. When you get there then, you can take your pin out and do your final knot at the back. So in and out, loop the loop, hula hoop and pull, or you can just cut and knot. What I'm going to do now is just trim, a very small amount of trim, just around the edge, just to neaten up the edges. Now that it's all together, so you can either do this when it's flat before it's stuffed, or you can wait till it's stuffed to see what it's like, and just give it a little trim just to neaten up those edges. Now you've got it all together. So that is your lovely little worry bug, and you can even make a little friendship group with them. So you can just carry on with these. I've used different colour felt at the back and different styles of eyes and pockets and things. What you can do then is write a little note. This could be something that's on your mind or something lovely that you've done. I always want to remember the sunshine, walks and butterflies. This might be something that's on your mind that you'd like to put in there that your worry bug can then help with. And you just pop that in the pocket. And there we have it. How cute is that? So now you've got your little Matchbox Worry Bug. You can now make it a little home. So you need your Matchbox, some paper, some scrap paper if you've got it, a glue stick and a scissors. So just take the lid off and then you can just place it down and think, how much do I need here? So we just want the paper to go to the edge of the matchbox. So I usually flatten it down and draw all the way across. So cut that out then, and that should fit your matchbox. So you could draw on your matchbox if you wanted to. You could create a name or a story or a home for your matchbox. You can even decorate inside the matchbox if you like. It's completely up to you. So I'm leaving that to your creative minds to do. Then, so cover your matchbox with some glue. Be nice and generous with it. Pop your paper on top and then press down. It's up to you. You might prefer to glue the paper instead of the matchbox. So that's it. Take your time. Glue all the way around the edge and then a little bit inside. And then press down and cover your matchbox. You just want a little piece of paper there to be able to overlap your design so it stays on and it's nice and strong. If you find any bits overlap, you can just use your scissors and give it a little edging trim if you like. If you find that you want to be a little bit more exact. Obviously you could make this look like a wonderland, a home, anything you like to. So I've just used some pattern paper here that I had left over from a project. Straight into your matchbox. And you can take your Matchbox bug. What am I going to call? I think I'm going to call him Sid. So I'm going to take Sid, pop him in here. So you'll find the matchbox will fill with the fragrance of the lavender as well. So it'll be lovely when you open him. If you want to leave him out like that to have a little sleep, you can. And you can make other accessories and things for your lovely Matchbox bug. Sid definitely likes to be outside, so I think I might place him by the windowsill. And I've also made some extra ones to give as little gifts with different favourite colours that people like. Here's another matchbox, so just with another piece of paper, patterned. You can edge it, you can add whatever you want to. It's completely up to you. I hope you liked making along with me today, creating your lovely little Matchbox Worry Bug. I would love to see what you create. So if you hashtag create with Naz, share your wonderful images with me and check out Head for Arts. Thank you so much for joining me today and take care.